Okay, so there are a few times that we should actually pull guard. One of them being is you get your ass beat and stand up. Right? If you get your ass beat and froze, sitting down is always a benefit, right? Another time is if you successfully hit froze and you're no longer finding success hitting a throw because they're keeping their hips back, right? I like the first option less than I like the second option, right? I want to dominate them, and then I want them to be scared, and then when I can't have success with that, I want to have success with something else. Does that make sense? Okay. So second option, better. Now, that being said, all guard pulls in the sport of jiu-jitsu are done with contact, right? Sitting down like this with nothing is stupid, right? I've essentially given this person a level above me, right, to where they can drop their weight upon me with almost no consequence. Now, if I'm able to make contact afterwards, right, now I'm improving my ability to grip, But sitting down in front of someone with no contact is not an advantageous thing. That being said, what we're going to do is sit down in front of someone with contact, and it will have an effect on the human body. So assuming we take the standard gripping that everyone likes to do, we'll go collar, and we'll go sleeve. See how I have this kind of cross-body control? Right. The easiest thing to understand is that if I pull him, right, we see what function happens. He comes towards me. If I drop down, we see what happens. If we do these things in combination, right, we see what happens. Does that make sense? All these effects are very visible and very achievable, right, just by doing this. Now, we're going to mix one thing in. I'm going to put my foot into his hip. My foot is facing out. Not facing in, not facing up. It's not like this, right? It's facing out. Does that make sense? I am now going to fall to my hip. When I do that, I'm going to pull these things with me. I'm going to attempt to try to take this knee and put it to my chest. Leaving it lazy is not good. You see how my knee should be in front of me. So if I have to, I can employ it, or I could hypothetically triangle someone.
I look so unhappy in that video right there. I'm like, I know where this is gonna go.
Where is the video gonna go?
Super basic, right? We are guard pulling to sweep in this instance, right? We're going to put our foot, we're going to fall, causing rotation, and we can scoop with that other leg. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Questions on it? If you want to see it, I can absolutely do this one.
Oh, would that translate to a shirt?
No gi.
Awesome.
Now, realize when you do this in no gi, right, it's closer, so there will be more force. Harder to make it lighter, right? Because I'm going to get here, I'm here, I'm going to sit. You see how close our cores are? It has more impact slash force. The further I away, I can get more, but I can also typically regulate it. Does that make sense?
It's better for your body.
Yeah. Other questions? So when we are talking about, say takedowns in general, a lot of people think that they're gonna, win. Well, you can always stall out, but you can also change the dynamic by pulling guard. Right? So let's say I'm taking any kind of grip or any of that nature, and he's also gripping, and I'm starting to lose the grip fight. Right? My ability to change level makes these grips very different now. So he's hoping to either pull me or push me, right? You can determine that by the grip. These both get lessened by the ability to sit. So just doing this. This is silly, they're gonna pass you, all that kind of stuff. So what we're looking to do is make meaningful contact when we are AKA pulling guard, sitting down. So sometimes that looks very simple, right? We are going to either like put a foot there, or we are going to connect to the bottom of their feet, or we are simply, when we shoot down, maintaining enough of the upper body that it shoots over us, right? So what does the last one look like? It'd be here. Foot and hip. You want to go into an ashigarami. So pulling guard shouldn't just be this. It should be that with extra stiff, right? First one we're going to look at is how to basically affect the hip on the outside. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to do what I always do. I try to go 2-on-1, right? And even here, right, they start to turn towards us or anything. See, my ability to sit down is pretty impactful on the human body. If I stay connected, I might lose this, but I can still punch, twist, all those kinds of things. But even just sitting down here, I could have the ability to affect. So we're looking to the outside of the hip, right? And we can just sit. Saying we're here, right? Now we're going to change level, even a back stepping. And these are all like very air quote basic. And we're not like doing that full speed or like with resistance or anything, but you do things relatively the same. But if I need to close distance rapidly, I do a back step. If that makes sense, because if he is closing the distance on me, and I need versus if I'm here, I can stick my leg forward, right? I wouldn't be able to do that if he's pressuring me. That's why I can do this kind of like little back step. I can always go forward, right? And then obvious one, we can always just kind of put our shin to the floor. So back stepping, shin to the floor, putting our foot in front. There are really only 3 directions that really works, right? Shin in front or knees high. I should say knees high, not shin in front. All right, so like I can sit, put both my knees high, or I can basically move one of them to the outside. So what we're looking, we're going to look to make some type of control. We're either looking to get underneath the hips, control of the hips, right? Or affect so much of the upper body that it passes over. So when I'm here, right, let's say taking a step forward, right, boom. Even just being able to hook underneath, increasing the force that I can apply to the upper body. So when we're doing a guard pull, we're looking to close the spaces. Does that make sense? Okay. We're going to start from there, and then we'll go into like using the guard pull into types of takedowns. Make sense? Questions, comments, anything to add?
No.
All right, so when we're looking for the guard pull, we're looking for some type of connection. What kind of connection that is depends on what you're looking for. If you don't do legs, obviously pulling guard is actually less advantageous. You're looking to sit someone down on a hip. This is a level change, no different than if I was here, right? I'm level changing. I'm putting my first priority, right, is putting my feet in front of the person. If I simply, oh, I'm a pull guard, right, but my feet don't end up in front of them. This did me no good. So during this level change, some point, your knees need to come almost to your chest, right? I would say earlier, the better. So even if I squat down, like so, you see how my knees are in between us and they are high, right? Even if my knees are in between us, but they're low, now I'm in danger, right? He has the collection and ownership of my legs. So when we are pulling guard of that fashion, we want our legs to be active and in the fight. Even when we do this type of pulling, my feet should be active, tight, right? You see how my knees are still like to me, right? This other foot should be doing something meaningful, right? And when it makes contact here, it's not making contact like lazy, it's making contact. My body's tight, ready to pop, ready to recoil. So, we'll make this first like actual guard pull that we're gonna do pretty simple. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a side step, and then I want you to swing your hip. Make sense? So, side step, swing your hip. A little bit of horizontal movement. You're gonna cross your feet. The biggest no-no that people always tell you. Swing your leg. But y'all see what's happening? See how that rotational movement is doing a lot of the work, right? I am not, I'm not pulling super hard. We are rotating into it. If I did this with no rotation, see I have to pull him, right, to get this type of bending motion. And arguably all he has to do is slight step back and boom, right? Well, you will have a hard time taking that slight step back. Like this. Does that make sense? Perfect. All right. Now, when you do that, you can obviously finish it. Does that make sense? You can go all the way over. You can sit there. You can go into leg entanglement. Your choice. You can just sit them down on a hip. I would probably prefer that one the most for y'all, right? So. Does that make sense? Perfect.
We're not going for helicopter off.
You can.
That's what we're
No,
talking about.
I mean, I'm just letting you know, you absolutely can, right? But at the same time, sitting someone down on the hip from any position is already a win for you, right? So if you can learn that skill, that's gonna be the best that translates to every position, okay? All right, go praise. Okay, so this next one, we're gonna do the same general concept, right? Everything's gonna be relatively the same. We're gonna do the foot, right? Except when we fall, we're gonna let go of this, and we're gonna reach down. Does that make sense? So you had the sleeve, right? Well, sometimes you lose it. You go here and you're like, shit, right? Cool. This is a type of sweep. You see, I didn't even fucking take him down who wants to sit down. Why? Because he can't take a back step. His hip and leg are only so long. So even if I only get right here, if I get here and I start to push, he will fall down. Does that make sense? Now we can increase this. Same thing. We're here, right? We're gonna lose. We're gonna grab, but you see this other foot? Does that make sense? You see how it's swooping?
And then my leg is in danger.
Make sense? Cool. All right. Do we have any questions on this one? How do you do it in no-gi? Same way. All right. We're gonna be here. Right. They're not gonna be able to fall on us. We're gonna maintain the head posturing. Right. Same thing. We're gonna grab. and we're gonna lift. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? Cool, let's do it. Things we're gonna go over. All right, so same concept, right? For this one, we're going to double in the inside positioning. Now, what do I mean? So I mean, tuck your knees to your chest. Whee! Does that make sense? This is quite simple,
Yeah.
right? Seems silly, right? But he can't fill the inside space, right? So, I'm here, right? And if I didn't do that and I just did this, he fills the inside space.
It's the only time I'm ever gonna get mounted.
Now when I bring my knees to my chest, when I do this, there's no chance for him to fill the inside space. Now, I'm actually taking him all the way over here. That's not what we're actually doing. I'm showing you the effect, right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna go here. Right? You see how I can come on top? See how he went more angular to the side than just over on top of me?
Yep.
Right? This is our actual goal. For him to come on top of me now is very hard. Right? Good luck. Right? But for me to come on top of him, pretty easy. So, when you're doing this, if you want to just do the motion, so where you can be like, oh, I got double collar, double wrist, or you only have the one. Okay? Make sense? Now, no gi variance. All right? That simple. Questions?
Does it help keeping the hook in? You had your thinnest foot back behind his leg.
What do you mean?
Like when you went down, you kept your hook in.
So I'll explain.
I was curious on that one.
So you're here, boom.
That
Like
one.
this.
Yes.
Joe, stand up.
Okay. I see it.
Joe, stand up.
My arm, yeah.
Okay. We're keeping it in. And then
People cannot stand unless they're able to put their feet on the ground. My foot's in between him and the ground. Make sense? So this next one, we're trying to get their hands to the mat, right? So this guard pull is basically a way of entering into the inside positioning. What I'm going to do is simply sit to my butt, and my knees are going to come to my chest almost prior to doing so. So I'm going to change my level into like a squat. Does that make sense? So I have the connection. I'm going to squat. My knees are going to come to my chest. And then from here I'm going to either lift him up, right, and choose where I want to go. Or I am going to lift him up. Does that make sense? So this is going to offer you a lot of things because his hands and his feet must be employed for him to have a base, right? When we cause this motion, it makes both of them pretty easy to affect, but the hips are going to be extra light because the head is higher than the hip. I mean, sorry, the head is lower than the hip. You knew what I meant. Does that make sense? So those are the results we're looking for. We're looking for hands to come and head to be low. Questions? It is quite simple. I literally want you to do this.
Active feet.
Does that make sense? I do not want you to do this.
When you come down to stand up real quick. Alright, you don't want your feet to be just here.
No.
Right. Active. Using them. That way you can create some form of hook.
all things should have tension in them when you plan to use them. Next one goes back to our previous lesson that we did with leg gripping, right? So what we're going to look to do, right, instead of pulling like this, we're going to side fold like so. Does that make sense? Now, when does this get more beneficial, right? Our hips are further back from each other, right? We're not having any luck controlling, right? So now I'm just gonna
Kind of still stupid.
silly, right? But all I am doing, right, is hooking while falling. Does that make sense? I'm taking a seat on a horizontal plane versus a back and forward plane. You just did this, right? Well, we went like this. Now we're going to fall like this. And they have added benefits. So we're here, just like I'm going to take a seat. I can trip him, right? But I can also switch my hips and then be on top. I moved very little, right? Can you end up on top? No, but I am. Does that make sense? Okay. This is going to be awkward for y'all. I understand. It's a little weird. No-gi, it's the same thing. We're going to come here. Make sense? It's just like an outside leg trip versus an inside leg trip. Any questions on that? You sure's?
So, at this point, I think, usually whenever it's no-gi, in place of like the collar grab, you just hook the head.
Hook the head or the arm. Or have underhooks to where you can lift a human.
I see. Yes, sir. So we're here.
Okay.
We're going to look to cross over. If I was going to mount, I went right here. Right? Okay. We'll do it
Oh,
again.
no, that actually felt good. You popped my back.
Power crack.
Bam, bam, wham, bam, thank you, man. See, I'm crossing over. Right. I'm going to either pull like this. I'm going to keep my leg up. I'm going to pull.
Oh, mother.
Okay. Or I'll chop like this. Because I like this side.
Yeah, I know you do.
What?
Come like this, and you got on the side, and the other one was where you grab the foot.
Yeah, just pull it.
Yeah, and then there was a third one where you grab the foot and
You kick
hook
up
the
the
right
leg.
leg.
Can you tell me the reason why I showed you these?
The reason?
In case you're getting your ass whipped standing,
That's right.
or in case you're going for throws and they're not succeeding, or you're going for throws, they're succeeding, and then they stop succeeding.
Sure, absolutely. But more importantly, can I steal you, Jordan?
Throws as in like punches, or throws as in like
Take down.
judo?
Throws.
Okay.
All right, so if you watch, right, one is about owning someone's weight entirely, right? Holding, right, now I have his weight, and at one moment, I can switch the direction of it. That is using a frame that is reinforced by grips, right, so I'm owning his weight. The other one is utilizing his weight to gain inside positioning, right? I'm falling. That is inside positioning, where we're winning the fight for the grips. The other one is outside positioning, which allows us to win the grip. These teach you the principles of how to win the grip fight. Does that make sense? Right? All of these are the same exact things that you would do if you were looking for a different air quote technique. Sometimes you use outside techniques. Can I steal you? Let's say I want to get to his back. Outside technique. Right? I want to get to his back. Inside technique. Right? I want to get to his back. They all apply the same general idea, It's just how we are using them. Does that make sense? If you can break jujitsu down into concepts, you can do these things in far different ways than I showed you. So if I steal him, right, say I wanted to sit down, I know he can't capture me. I didn't do the same thing, right? I sat down and I was laying to my side, but he couldn't capture me because I'm gripping on the inside positioning, everything's tight, I keep the rotation. It's not a technique, it's a different technique than what we were doing, right? But the principle is still all the same. Does that make sense?